Welcome back, guys. Thanks so much for joining us live here in the Get Real studio, where we are hanging out and we are going to be doing a backtivity from our Get Real guide. You guys, I am Mrs. Coyote and I have a special guest with me here today. Special guest, tell us your name.
Renly.
Her name is Renly, and fun fact for you guys, Renly is actually my daughter, right? Thank you so much for coming to hang out. It is so good to see you guys. I'm so glad you're here with us, hanging out. You guys, go ahead and comment in the comment section if you have anything to share with us. We're going to be asking some questions today, so make sure that you are commenting and following along as we do this backtivity together. I'm so excited to share it with you and make it happen. Are you ready to make this robot hand?
Yes.
Okay, you guys, we are going to make a robot hand together. You guys, this week we talked about what it means to be real. And for the next few weeks, we're talking about what it means to be real with ourselves, God, and others. And to start us off, we're going to be doing this robot hand so we can talk about what it means to be real. And when you guys think of your real hands, can you do this with your hand? God made our hands so they can do lots of really interesting things. They can grab stuff, they can hold things, they can make a fist like this, they can give thumbs up, and we have all these fun little pieces in our hand called joints that help our fingers bend and do all those really, really cool things. So we're gonna do that today with our robot hand. So I'm gonna give you guys 60 seconds. We have just a few materials that we need to gather to make this robot hand possible. I have those materials here. I'm gonna tell you what they are, and then you guys have 60 seconds to go grab those at your house. Make sure you guys ask parent permission to make sure it is okay that you're doing this, or invite your parent to hang out with us. Okay, so Renly, here's what we need to do the robot hand. First things first, we need some paper. You guys can use any kind of paper. You can use paper from your printer. If you guys have some construction paper, you guys can pick out a fun color. We're gonna do a yellow robot hand today because yellow is actually our favorite color. The next thing that we're gonna need is some Scotch tape. We are going to need a pair of scissors that cut really well. We're gonna need a pencil because we're gonna do some tracing. And Renly, can you show them the straws? Can you hold those up? Awesome. You're gonna need to grab 5 plastic straws. They don't have to be any special colors. Just make sure that your scissors can cut them. So go ahead and grab straws. And the last thing on our list is some string. It doesn't matter what kind of string, the string just needs to fit through the straws. So you guys have 60 seconds to grab those materials. Ready, set, go. And while you guys are doing that, we're gonna answer a silly question of the day. All right, silly question for you, Renly. Let's see. If you could invent a robot, what would you have the robot do? Imagine you made your very own robot, maybe out of metal or maybe out of paper. What would you want the robot to do?
I would say kiss people.
You'd want the robot to be kind to people? Yeah, yes. Do nice things for people, maybe help them out with their homework, give them high fives. I think that's great. You guys, if you could invent any robot, what would you have your robot do? Comment below so we can hear your robot ideas. All right, you guys, I think our minute is up, so we're gonna go ahead and jump in and get started on our robot hand. Renly, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so pro tip for you guys, we're gonna use my hand to do the robot hand today because it's actually easier to use a bigger hand. You guys can use your hand, but if you're like Renly, she has a tiny little hand like this, and it's probably a lot easier to use a hand that's my size. All right, so Renly, what we're gonna do, like I said, we're gonna make a yellow robot hand today. So we're gonna move our extra paper out of the way. I'm gonna hand you a pencil, and I want you to trace my hand. Now, fun fact, you guys, Renly is actually a lefty, right? So she draws and she writes and she throws with her left hand. I'm a righty. How many of you guys are lefties? Comment below, let us know. I want to hear about it. So I'm gonna take my hand, I'm gonna go ahead and put it down right in the center of the paper, just like this. And Renly is gonna trace around my fingers, right? One at a time. You guys are gonna wanna spread your hand out because after we're done tracing, we're actually gonna cut the hand out of the paper. So you want to make sure there's room for the scissors to cut through it. Good job. That tickles just a little bit. It's kind of tickly. This is interesting. All right. She's getting every little finger. Good job. Good job. Awesome. And make sure that you also trace the wrist as well because you're going to need that piece when our robot hand is done. Now, you guys, I mentioned the Get Real guide. So some of you might have that Get Real guide. You might see that robot hand. If for whatever reason you don't have a Get Real guide, you guys can actually download one in the link below and follow along. There are instructions on that page for you guys to follow along with what we're doing. All right, great job tracing. Let's finish the wrist right here, going all the way down. Perfect. take a look at that. That looks awesome. All right, so we've got our hand traced, ready to go. The next thing we're gonna do is actually cut this out. So I'm gonna grab my handy dandy scissors. Watch out, they're sharp. Okay, I'm gonna cut out my hand just like this. Now, Rinley, you are a special guest today, which is really, really exciting. What grade are you in?
I am in kindergarten.
Kindergarten? That is awesome. What is your favorite thing about being in kindergarten?
That we get to do crafts.
You get to do crafts in kindergarten. That is a really, really fun highlight of kindergarten, and that's great because we get to do this super fun craft today. So I'm so glad that you love crafts already. You guys, what grade are you guys in? Comment in the comment section. I'd love to know what ages we have hanging out with us today. I am not in a grade. I did all the grades one time, and it was really fun, and I really liked craft time too. But now that I'm not in a grade, I just get to be here and hang out with you guys and make robot hands, which is a pretty cool thing, right?
Yeah.
All right, hand is almost cut out. Did we put too many fingers on here? No, okay. How many fingers are you supposed to have?
5.
5 fingers. Whew. Okay, I thought we put an extra one on there for a second, but I think we're good. Do robots even have fingers?
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the robot.
Yeah.
You guys, I don't know if you are familiar with our favorite robot here at the Get Real Studio. His name is Robot Jeff. Keep your eyes open because he shows up in a lot of our videos. He hangs out with us on occasion, so keep your eyes open. He's a cool little friend of ours. All right,
Cool little friend.
hand is cut out. Here we go. High five. High five. Awesome, great job. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do now that our hand is cut out is, we talked about the joints in our fingers. Those are the little pieces on our fingers that help our fingers bend in all those little places. And so what we wanna do on our robot hand is mark all the places where our joints are. So Rinley, you wanna help me out with this?
Yes.
Here's a pencil for you. You guys can see this right here. I'm kind of lining up my fingers where the outline is, and Rinley is gonna mark where all my joints are. So your thumb only has one joint, like this. If it had more than that, it would just kind of like fold into itself, which would be interesting. So, yep, mark there. Now we're gonna mark here. So that's a joint right there right below the fingernail. Put a little line here. Good job. I need a line right there.
I know where to do the joint.
Oh, she already knows. Excellent. Very good. Hey, fun question for you guys. Do you know what the bones inside of your fingers are called? Yeah? Okay, don't cheat. Don't look anything up. Don't ask anyone. If you guys know the answer, throw it in the comments. I want to know how many of you guys know what the finger bones are called. And I'll tell you in just a second. I'll give you a chance to answer. Rinley, do you know what they're called?
No.
No? Okay. Rinley's going to find out in just a second too. All right, we've marked all of our joints on our hand. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold the paper where all of those joints are so that we know where to tape our straws. All right, boom, right there, right on the fold. Awesome job. And just a reminder, guys, all of this, there's a picture on your Get Real guide of that robot hand so you can see where we're headed and what we're going to do. So you can see where those straws are going, what the hand is going to look like. The only thing the Get Real guide doesn't show you is what happens once all of that's into place. And we're going to show you because we're going to bring this hand to life. Okay, we got all of our folds, which is awesome. So now we have all these little bins in our paper where all of our joints are. So it's starting to look like a real life hand, right? All right. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we need some straws. And what we're going to do with these straws, each straw goes with each finger, and so we want to cut different pieces of the straws that fit right inside these joints. Now here's a trick. You want to cut the straw smaller than this space so that way when the hand bends there's actually room for it to bend. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So first thing, I'm going to go ahead and cut off this little bendy thing. We want to get rid of that. If you're drinking a drink, this comes in handy, but when you're making robot hands, not so much. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that right off the bat so I don't have to worry about it. And you can see on my left here, we have our little friend drinking his summer beverage. Looks refreshing. Rinley, what's your favorite drink to drink in the summer?
Lemonade.
Lemonade, a good choice. I love lemonade. That sounds delicious. Just regular, or do you like strawberry lemonade?
I like strawberry lemonade.
That's a good one. I love strawberry lemonade. That sounds so yummy. I don't even know what he's drinking. What do you think?
I'd probably say lemonade.
Yeah, you might be right. Okay, we're gonna start cutting our pieces right here. If you guys can see that, I'm just gonna demonstrate what I was talking about. Thank you. So as you can see, this is the joint right here on the thumb, but I made this piece smaller than the joint and this one as well. So that way when it bends, there's actually room for it to bend. So that's just something you guys want to know. And to keep it pretty simple, what you guys can do is as you cut, go ahead and tape your pieces on. So here's a little trick for you. These straws just kind of jump everywhere. They get kind of silly and they roll off tables and things like that. So when you cut your piece, go ahead and take your straw piece, put the tape around it like this, and then you can just drop it right onto your hand. And it holds it right in place. That way you don't have to worry about losing all these straws, because if we don't have straws, we don't have a hand, which would be a sad day.
That would be a very sad day.
So I'm thinking that if this hand works out well, I might just replace my real hands for this robot hand. What do you think?
I think that's right.
Yeah, I think so. We live in the future now, so we might as well just make everything robotic. Okay, so our thumb is gonna have 2 pieces because it only has that one joint. The rest of our fingers are actually gonna have 3 pieces of straw. So here we go. We're cutting them right there. Boom. We're using the green straw.
You gotta hold on to it so it doesn't pop everywhere.
I know. They get pretty silly. I think that they're just excited to be here, honestly, is really what it is.
I
Yeah.
agree.
These straws haven't gotten to be in a lot of videos, so when I asked them to be part of the video today, you could just tell that they were ecstatic, very excited about it. So it makes sense why they're jumping around. Oh no. Oh no. I lost my tape. Okay, it's back in business. Uh-oh, this is tricky tape. You guys ever have this problem where you just lose a piece of it?
Mommy, you lose the biggest tape
Okay.
ever.
I'm gonna get it back, don't you worry. If I had a robot hand, this wouldn't have been a problem, but... Okay. I think we're back, guys. All right, we've repaired it. Our tape's back. Okay, let's get our next set of straws on.
Next set of straw,
let's see.
one straw here.
One straw there. Boom. Tape on.
Boom, straw.
Tape it into place.
Yes.
All right. There we go. And another one here. All right.
And
very good.
don't put the tape in front of the hole.
Ooh, that's actually a really great tip, Ridley. I'm glad you mentioned that. Ridley makes a great point. Make sure that the tape doesn't cover up any of the straw holes, because in just a second we're gonna send some string through the straws, and if the holes are blocked, we can't do that. Okay, last little straw here on the next part of the hand. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing okay. If for whatever reason you're behind where I am, that's totally okay. Don't give up, because you guys can watch this video again later, and you can just follow along at whatever pace you are working at, so don't even worry about it. Even if you want to just watch the video right now and hang out, and then watch the video again later and actually follow along with me. That's even a good idea too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Finger number 2 is done. Okay, let's see. Let's do yellow for this finger right here. All right, we're gonna cut a few more pieces. Rinley, how are you doing?
Good.
Yeah? Okay. Awesome. Do you have any fun facts that you want to share with our friends? No?
I love every single fact.
You love all the facts?
Yeah.
That's a lot of facts to love. I love all the facts too. You know what we never revealed to them? We haven't told them the answer for what finger bones are called, huh?
Yeah.
Should we tell them what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, if you guys commented, we asked, what are the bones inside of your fingers called? The answer, drum roll please. Drum roll please. The answer is phalanges. That's a funny
Phalanges.
word. Phalanges are the names of the bones in your fingers, and actually also the bones in your toes. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Phalanges. What a silly word. How many of you got that answer right? If you guys have any questions that could stump me, you should send them in. I'd love to know what kind of silly questions you guys have to ask. Like, what is the name of a finger bone? Phalange. I like saying that word. Phalange. I like it. Okay. We're halfway done. We're almost done, you guys.
We just need 2 more fingers to go. 2 more
What's great, if you
fingers.
guys get thirsty, just use your straw to take a drink, right?
Yes.
This is great.
Straw.
Okay.
But don't get a straw that's cut.
Yeah, you probably don't want to use one of these tiny ones because that would not be successful in drinking your beverage. Okay. That one's done. Now let's go ahead and move on to our 4th finger. These fingers are getting smaller and smaller, which is why, that's why I mentioned using an adult hand might be the best way to go, because I'm an adult and these fingers are still a little bit tiny.
Tiny like mine.
Tiny like yours. That is very, very true.
But you know what's the tiniest fingers in this room?
Who?
The dinosaur fingers.
Oh, he has very tiny fingers.
Yes.
We should have made a robot dinosaur hand, huh?
Yeah.
That'll be next time.
Yeah.
Do a robot dinosaur. That'd be fun.
Well,
All right.
that might be easier, but yeah.
Okay, robot dinosaurs. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think we'd have them as pets? Yeah. What kind of dinosaur would you want to have as a pet?
A Dilophosaurus.
A Dilophosaurus. That sounds excellent. What kind of dinosaur pet would you guys like to have, assuming you'd want a dinosaur as a pet? You think I think they'd be good pets, right?
Yeah.
You'd have to get the herbivores. You know what an herbivore is?
I think it eats like leaves and grass.
Yeah, it eats plants. Herbivores eat plants. That's probably the kind of dinosaur pet you'd want to have, because the ones that eat meat might eat you.
Yes.
Yikes. All right.
Well, I would presume they would have nice dinosaurs.
I would presume the same. Excellent presumption. All right, Renly. We are almost to our pinky finger, which is the tiniest finger of all. We're almost there. Okay, let's get our final piece on. Boom. Got it? All right, let's move on to our pinky. And for this one, I'm going to use the color... I'm going to do red again. We started with red straw. We're going to end with red straw. Okay.
I agree.
Excellent.
That should be a good color to end with.
So glad we're on the same page here. Whew. Can you imagine if we weren't?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
There we go.
Thanks for holding that. All right. I need the world's tiniest piece of tape for the world's tiniest piece of straw. Here it is. Can you guys even see it? You guys might want to put your glasses on or grab a magnifying glass, but I promise you it's there. All right. Here we go.
Oh, that's so tiny.
So tiny, I should put my glasses on.
Where are your glasses anyways?
Dinosaurs using them. Okay. 2 more pieces.
Dinosaur wearing glasses.
This one's also going to be super tiny. I hope it doesn't jump. Oh, okay, we did it.
It's a good thing that one didn't
Put
jump.
our tape on. The tape is actually bigger than the straw.
Yeah.
Okay, and for our final piece. Renly, I may have broken the rules. I may have put tape over the hole. Okay, and we're going to watch it. And boom. All right, you guys. I am on my final piece here for the fingers. Now, the next thing you're going to do, if you are looking at your Get Real guide, you can see that this robot hand does not only have pieces of straw on the fingers, but it also has pieces of straw for the palm of the hand and for the wrist. You guys can see those there. So we're going to cut 5 more pieces.
5
of straw.
more pieces.
It's going to be a little bit longer. Here's what our hand looks like right now. Hopefully your guys' looks pretty similar to that.
Pretty.
If it doesn't, we might want to reevaluate what you're making. Okay, here we go. Let's take our leftover straws because we didn't use all of them. We're going to cut 5 longer pieces. Now, the one thing you're going to do, if you guys can see, you have this line coming down from every single finger. You're going to want to make this next part match up to that part of the hand, because the string that you're putting onto each of these fingers will go into these pieces of straw.
I think the easiest way, well, you should put like a straw right here and then cut the same one. It's kind of an easier way.
Guys, she's onto something. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
All right. And then what we want to also be careful with, let's see, let's get this into place. Boom. We want all of these pieces to match up into one spot because the string is going to come together into one place so they all can form one excellent robot hand. Okay. Now we're going to grab, let's do red for this one. How's everyone doing?
I think we're doing great.
Okay, awesome. Great job. Okay.
One little piece of tape.
Oh, we're gonna make songs now. Okay, 2 more pieces. Let's do a yellow. Get that in there.
My favorite color is yellow.
It is. I noticed you're wearing yellow today.
Oh yeah, I am wearing
Great
yellow.
choice.
Yeah.
It's a good color. All right, and then we're gonna do one more piece for our thumb. This one might, oh, we'll cut it just a little bit. Let's do green. All right, piece for our thumb. They all, ooh, I need to cut it even shorter.
What?
All right, here we go. Now it is time to do the string.
The string.
All right, you guys. Ooh, not the string yet. Okay, now we have our palm pieces on it. Now we're gonna do one more piece, which is gonna be the wrist piece. That's where the string is all gonna meet and come through together. So we're gonna pop it right here.
Just need to cut off a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna need to cut a little bit off that. You guys can see it goes right underneath where all of those other straws have met. So we want them to end up in the same spot. We're gonna tape that down right onto the wrist. And then I'm gonna cut this straw just a little bit shorter so the string can come through. Boom.
Very easily.
Okay, we have all of our straw pieces inside of our hand, which actually kind of looks like a skeleton, huh?
Yeah.
We have a skeleton in our body. We have bones in our body. Okay, so now we have our skeleton parts. Now we're gonna do our string. So what you guys are gonna wanna do next is take the string, you're gonna cut 5 pieces, and there's gonna be 1 piece for each finger, and we're gonna thread that all the way through the straws into that wrist. So Renly, you wanna go ahead and get us started? Push it through. Okay, go all the way through, starting from the top. Good job. Now you can see that coming out. Good.
Got it?
And we're gonna push it through all of these pieces. So you guys, if you think about a glove and a real hand, they look similar on the outside, but only the one that's real on the inside works, because we're talking about your hand. That's the real thing, right? So that's why we're making this robot hand today, because we are showing you what it means to work like a real hand, because we're talking all about being real, right?
Yeah. I think a real hand should be real.
I agree. That's actually a really good point. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Okay, so she's working on that. And you guys, if you hung out with us this weekend, we had a get real question that we asked you guys, and that maybe you guys have been thinking about. Maybe you talked about it with your small group. Maybe you talked about it with your family. And that question for this week is, how will you choose to get real with your heart? Now, there could be a lot of different answers. So if you guys have an answer for that, if you guys have already thought of one previously, if you want to talk about it now, think about it and then let us know in the comments what your thoughts are on that, how you're going to get real with your heart this week, and what that means for you.
I think it's going to be as hard.
So stop there. So when you guys get to this part, don't put the string through the wrist piece quite yet, because we're going to do that all at one time at the very end. Now, once the string has gone through, you want to measure it and make sure, if you can see here, this string goes far beyond the straw. You want to make sure you have that extra string left over so that you can pull all of the fingers.
Yeah.
So then when you get here, what you're going to want to do at the top of the finger is cut off the string.
Like a little piece.
Yep, leave about 1 inch.
Just
Swoop.
Yeah.
And then we're going to fold it over and tape it into place so our string doesn't escape, run away, get shy, any of those things. It tried. Do you see that? It tried to escape right now. It tried to run away. So the straws were excited to be on camera. The string, not so much. He's a little bit shy. So we're going to send him back through. We're going to tape him into place so he can't leave our set. He tried once. We're not going to let it happen again.
No.
All right. Sending that through. All right.
All right.
Boom. Okay. So we've got about that inch left over at the top of the finger. Fold it over right onto the back.
Over and
We're going to tape it into place.
Because we got to do like the same thing on every single one.
We're going to do the same thing on every single one. That's the plan at this point. All right, so we're sending it through finger number 2. Now there's no order to this. I started with the thumb. You guys can start with the pinky. You guys can start with the 4th finger. As long as each finger gets a string, then you are golden. So, and just make sure you don't send it through that wrist straw until all of them have been put through. All right.
You can even do it on the 3rd one.
You can. Absolutely. All right. There goes that one. And what I want to make sure that we're doing too is you can kind of pull these strings together to make sure they're the similar length. Then we're going to cut off that inch. Rinley has the tape ready. So she's going to fold that over and she's going to tape it into place.
Type it into place.
All right.
Okay,
Very, very good. It's always helpful to do things like this with a friend. So I'm really glad that Rinley's here today, helping me out so that we can teamwork this together. Are you guys hanging out with anyone? Let us know in the comments. Or if it's just you, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We're super excited to have you here. Okay. And like I said, you guys, if you aren't where I am, this video is going to be available after today. So you guys can always come back, rewatch the video, show a friend, redo it, make as many robot hands as you want, give them out as gifts, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
It's a great Christmas gift, right? Everybody could use a robot hand. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Everybody could use a real robot.
Can you imagine how long this would take if we had 20 fingers?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Sending it through. There's finger number 3. And
I got the scissors.
I thought the scissors ran away. All right, we're cutting. We are folding. And we are taping.
Taping.
All right, strings are looking good. Now we're gonna send string number 4 through. Here we go, all the way. This kind of reminds me of like hamsters when they run through the little tubes. Have you seen that before?
Yeah.
Little hamsters?
It's so cute.
Yeah, except it's a string going through.
Yeah.
Hamsters are funny.
But they couldn't even, they could not even fit in these little holes.
Yeah, I don't think a hamster could fit through these holes unless it was the world's tiniest hamster.
Yeah.
All right, scissors.
Scissors
we're
almost
cutting.
ran away.
Okay,
Scissors almost ran away.
cutting, folding, and taping. And now we are on our final finger of a robot hand. You guys, we are almost to the finish line here. We're almost to the home stretch. We are about to see how this robot hand actually works. And I am so excited. I'm so excited. Okay. All the way through. All the way through. Okay.
We're
Final
almost
piece.
done.
All right, and we are, whoops,
Done.
I'm tangled here on my string.
Tangle
All right, we are
tangles.
cutting.
String ran away.
We are folding.
Yeah, folding.
And
You're
we're
taping.
taping. There's so much tape on this pinky. I'm going to cut off some of this extra tape so it doesn't get in the way.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. We have all of our strings through our hand. Now the last and final thing we want to do is get these strings through this wrist piece. So what you can do is take all 5 of your strings, kind of twisting them up so they all are together.
Yeah,
And what you might want to do, if you have some that look like this where they're kind of uneven, cut them so they're all the same length. Okay.
And put
Get
them
that twist
in.
going, and then we are going to send it through this final straw.
Just carefully do it.
Make sure all the pieces are in good.
Just gonna send
Pushing
it
it
through.
through.
I'm just gonna send it.
All right. There we go. They came out the other side. Rinley, you want to pull those strings through for me?
Yes.
All right. And then, yep, just make sure it looks like they're all through. Now, Renly, in just a second, I want you to show me what happens when you pull those strings. So if you guys can see, we have our 5. Oh my goodness, would you look at that? You guys, our robot hand is working. Look at that. It looks like it's grabbing just like a real hand would do. It looks like it wants something. Here we go. We'll give it a koosh ball. Look at, can you grab the koosh ball? Oh my goodness. You guys, I hope that you made a very successful robot hand. This turned out really, really awesome. And remember, we're talking about what it means to get real with your heart this week. So make sure you guys comment below. Keep thinking about what that means for you as you go throughout your week. Have so much fun with your robot hands. And you guys, if you want to take a picture or a quick video of what your robot hand looks like, we'd love to see it. So make sure you ask your parent to post it on Instagram or social media and hashtag #GetRealRobotHands so we can check it out and maybe even repost it to our channel. Thanks for hanging out with us today live here in the studio, you guys. I'm Mrs. Coyote. This is my special guest, Renly. And we had so much fun hanging out with you guys. We'll see you next week.
See you then.